What's up everyone, this is Cybernerd, and today I have a zombie deck profile for you guys. Of course, this is using the brand new support that came out in the Zombie Horde Structure Deck, and also this build is more of a competitive build, where I'm using more than just the cards from the Structure Deck. I'm using other cards too, actually having a full extra deck and not just 3 of the new Red Eye Synchro monster, and I gotta say, this deck is a ton of fun to use, so be sure to hit that like button. You want to see more deck profiles, and let's get to it. Alright, so first off, I am running 2 of Doom King Balderoch. So yeah, just like last time when I talked about in the budget deck profile, this card is awesome. He's ridiculously easy to bring out, he can do some serious damage to your opponent, and just keep coming back over and over, because again, your strategy is still to have Zombie roll on your side of the field, bring out some scary monsters, and run over your opponent. I mean, that's really how this deck works. So with Glow Up Bloom, which we'll get to in a little bit, so easy to bring this card out too. He's just instant. And also too, with his negating effect and also banishing effect to go along with him, straight up awesome. So yeah, he's pretty much one of your boss monsters, and like I said, it's just so ridiculous how like first turn you can usually bring him out. And you can do that with, of course, 3 of Glow Up Bloom. Glow Up Bloom is one of the new cards, of course, from the Structure Deck as well, and this is the one that helps you bring out Doom King so easily, because when you have Zombie roll on your side of the field, you just get Glow Up Bloom to the graveyard by any means. I mean, seriously, like, use Foolish Burial, Unizombie, Gozuki, whatever. You get it to the graveyard, and then afterwards you can just special summon Doom King, because that's just what an effect does. And being able to do that is awesome, and it makes it so much easier to bring him out. And usually, too, the reason why I run, 2 of Doom King and 3 of Bloom is just because I want to get Bloom faster, and it can come in handy in other scenarios as well. Then after that, 1 of Necroworld Banshee. Again, just like with the budget deck profile, this card is just there to help you get out Zombie World. So yeah, get it to the graveyard, banish it, get Zombie World. That's just plain and simple what you're going to do. Then after that, 3 of Mizuki, and of course going along with 1 of Gozuki. So yeah, you guys know with zombies, I mean, how obvious it is to use these. Mizuki is just basically like a Monster Reborn type card, helps you revive your zombies, so yeah, obviously you gotta have 3 of those. And Gozuki helps you get monsters to the graveyard. Again, kind of like a Foolish Burial. So these 2 working together, you can easily get some of your different zombies to the graveyard, revive them, synchro with them, whatever. I mean, yeah, it's really simple. You gotta have those in anything that involves zombies. Then, of course, speaking of cards that are usually staples in zombies, we have 3 of Unizombie, and of course, going along with 3 of Shiranui Solitaire. So yeah, with these 2, again, it really is just like the budget deck profile on that. I mean, it's really simple to use both of these. They work together, they can help you synchro summon easily as well, and Unizombie is just like pretty much the MVP of the deck. I mean, because with it, you can discard your zombies. You can, of course, make this card go up in levels too to help you synchro summon for higher level monsters, but being able to discard and also have that Foolish Burial sort of effect is amazing. I mean, let's just say you have Zombie roll on your side of the field, you summon it, and then after that, you can then get Glow Up Bloom from your deck to the graveyard. There you go, Doom King. Right after that, you can get Mizuki from the deck to the graveyard then, or even discard it, and then you can use it to revive a zombie. I mean, it's just like the MVP of the deck. It helps you set up all your plays. And Shiranui Solitaire helps you even set up and go for Unizombie even easier. And again, both of those are really good for synchro summoning as well, which zombies can synchro summon really easily too. And then, of course, for last for our monsters, we have our hand traps, basically. So I am using 2 of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, and then, of course, 2 of Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. So yeah, if you want more of a budget-friendly option, you can go with other things besides Ash Blossom. I mean, there are other options out there. I've even seen some people just go with, like, the 3rd of Ghost Ogre, and then maybe even another one of Banshee, if you want to. I mean, that could be a little bit, that could kind of help you, with the value of this deck and make it a little bit cheaper. I think you're fine, too, with, like, Ash and Ghost Ogre, honestly. But again, if you want some cheaper options, that's what I would do. You could always just go with just Ghost Ogre because it is a cheaper option, too. Now, moving on to our spell cards, I mean, obviously, you gotta have 3 of Zombie World. I mean, it is your field spell for the deck. It makes everything go the way you want it to. Have it on the field, that just activates those effects, and even makes your opponent's monsters too zombies, which means for a lot of these cards too, you can just like use your opponent's monsters and stuff as well. You can throw off their deck anyway. I mean, if they need a certain type of monster, there you go, they have zombies now. So of course, go along with that as well, I'm using 2 of Terraforming. You should always use 2 of Terraforming with this. I mean, because seriously, Zombie World's everything to use, so no brainer. Gotta have 3 of those and 2 Terraformings. Then after that, 1 of Zombie Necronize. This card's pretty awesome. The only thing is I wish it didn't mention levels. Because it's like I said on the budget deck profile, this card would be so much better if it didn't. Because, well, nowadays we have Link monsters. We have Exceed monsters. They don't have levels, obviously. So it can sometimes be a problem for you. But, of course, it still works with your monsters, too. So if you have Doom King, you know, you can still make it work. And also, depending on what you're going against, too, it's still an amazing card. And, of course, taking one of your opponent's monsters obviously comes handy. It's kind of like a themed Snatch Steal, in a way. Then, after that, 2 a Book of Life. And then, of course, 1 on Monster Reborn. Basically, your revival cards. I mean, Book of Life is kind of a themed Monster Reborn in a way for zombies, and Monster Reborn is Monster Reborn. So, use that in everything, obviously. It's on the ban list where it's at 1 right now. Use it in everything. Foolish Burial, of course, one of your key cards. Send stuff to the graveyard, gets you all set up. Then 2 of Called by the Grave. Just a great option to have with all those hand traps out there and everything, too. So, I like to have just about 2 of those in everything for that reason. 2 of Twin Twisters. I'm using this because back row can sometimes be a problem for this deck, and also I don't mind discarding my cards. I mean, think about it. If I'm discarding Mizuki and getting rid of 2 spell cards, that's a plus for me. So, in most cases, that really works out, and again, back row can be the only thing that can kind of hurt you, just because this deck can swarm, because like zombies have been able to for years, and you just don't want your opponent to try to stop you do that. So, I like to have a little bit of spell and trap card destruction, just in case. Then also 2 Burial from a Different Dimension. This is good so you can get back your banished cards. So get back Mizuki, Glow Up Bloom, Banshee, whatever. I mean, so get them back to the graveyard and use them again. Then, of course, Upstart Goblin. Just be able to draw some cards, thin down the deck. 1 for 1 to go for Glow Up Bloom. Pretty simple on that. And then, of course, I'm actually using 2 A Pot of Desires. I know this might be kind of an interesting card to throw in here, but I wanted something that could help me draw cards. And with this deck, I feel like if you have the speed to be able to get as many cards as you need in your hand, you can just steamroll your opponent. So I feel like Pot of Desires is a great option for this. I only run 2 of them because I feel like that's all you really need. And more likely, you're only going to want to use 1 of them anyway. You're not going to want to just keep going crazy with it. So I feel like it's a good option. It's one of the best draw cards right now. And again, I just feel like I need some kind of draw power so then I can get all the cards I need and run over my opponent. Because that's kind of what this deck does. You want to swarm, bring out those strong monsters, and do as much damage as possible. And now, of course, we're moving on to the extra deck. So with that, of course, I have Red Eyes Zombie Necro Dragon. A really awesome synchro monster for the deck. I mean, it is easily a one-of, and anything that involves zombies does a lot of damage, can get powered up and everything too. And then, of course, with Zombie World, when you're destroying your opponent's monsters, it counts as a zombie monster being destroyed by its effect, and then you can just revive a zombie after that. So this card with Zombie World is just amazing. So definitely a card you want to have. Then after that, of course, one of Belize of the Diabolic Dragons. Easy to bring out. I mean, especially with Unizombie being able to, gain an extra level from that. And yeah, I mean, this card is so tough for your opponent to get rid of as well. So I really like having one of these because easy to bring out and it's a pain to get rid of. Plain and simple on that. Then also Cyframe Lord Omega, one of the best synchros out there, especially with Link Summoning everything too. So since I can go for level 8s, might as well throw one in. Shiranui Shogun Saga, another great card to have. And since, of course, I'm using Solitaire, I mean, it's great to have that option too. And then Black Rose Dragon. So you can just destroy the field if you need to. It's always great because I do have that option easily to go for level 7s, obviously. And I kind of like just having this card still because if things are going wrong, I can just destroy the field. And it's still great to do that. Even nowadays, even as the game's changed, it's still a great option. Now for Link Summoning. I am using 2 Vampire Sucker. I don't think this card's too expensive nowadays. I need to double check. It might have gone up because of Structure Deck, but this card is amazing, especially with Zombie World and everything. You are drawing cards for days using that, so it's such a great setup card, and it helps really get everything going. So giving you more zones, and then also being able to draw cards with it is pretty amazing. So if it has gone up in price, hopefully it'll get a reprint because I feel like it's a must-have in anything that involves zombies. Then also Link Karibo, because Glow Up Bloom. Borreload Dragon, kind of a staple for anything, with Link monsters. Boral Sword as well. If you want a cheaper option, go for that too. I mean, honestly, I'm using some of these stronger monsters because I have them. You can use other things too. I don't want this to be too much out of the range of, and really expensive too. So if you have other options, you can go for them too. Those aren't as crazy. Just kind of use what you have. Then, of course, some of the Nightmares. Nightmare Phoenix, Nightmare Cerberus, those are pretty easy to get a hold of. Nightmare Unicorn, one that's a little tougher, but yeah, I feel like it's really usable too, so you might want to have that. And then, of course, Summon Sorceress. It's going to get a reprint soon, so it'll be much easier to get. I guess this month or next month. It might be next month, actually. It might be December. But either way, great card in anything, just about. So, yeah. And if you want another option, I mean, you could throw in another Nightmare if you want, or just whatever you think that'll work. Again, even things like the Code Talker will help you more than nothing. And then last but not least, I'm also throwing in an Evil Storm Excite on Night. Mainly just because it's possible to go for it, and since this card is at 1 again, I feel like if you can go for it, you throw it in. I mean, honestly, again, being able to just destroy the field and destroy everything is great. Especially these days with all the link summoning and stuff. You can just reset your opponent's deck and really just destroy their plays. So I feel like, again, if you can use Excite on Night, you go for it. It's just that simple. It's like a staple in everything, in my opinion. And yep, there you go. That is my competitive build for zombies. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and let me know what you guys think about the build. I mean, honestly, I've been having a lot of fun using it, and zombies, after that structure deck too, are a lot stronger. And you can pretty much get everything you need from that structure deck. I mean, seriously, getting 3 of those structure decks, you basically have everything. Only thing you need to worry about is the extra deck, and most of the synchros I showed you guys have been reprinted, so they're cheaper. It's just link monsters. That can be a problem. But again, if you have some other options, go with those. Because I don't want this to be too out there on price, but also, since I do have some of those really good link monsters like that too, I'm going to use them. Let me know what you guys think. As always, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to hit the like button. You want to see more deck profiles in the future. I am planning Noble Knights very soon. I know that's one that's getting a lot of people wanting me to build them. And I was also planning some other things too. So let me know if there's any other deck profiles you'd like to see. Subscribe, ring the bell so you don't miss out. And of course I will. Catch you guys later. See ya.